Hey folks, it's been about 4 days. It's day 84 Nofap, and that's day 25 no porn or porn subs. Um, yeah, a little bit awkward right now because I'm having to mount this on top of a textbook, and I'm hoping it doesn't fall off. I'm actually holding the textbook in place, but um, anywho, it's like early afternoon, a little bit past noon. I'm having some late coffee, and I wanted to talk about a few things. Um, Yesterday, it's kind of interesting experience in a sense because it was the whole same routine of trying to get up early, and I did get up early. That sort of adult side of me um, did have a little bit of a mess up later because I was late to my peer advisor meeting and I had to reschedule that. But um, the interesting thing that I did try out, and I don't know if it's self parenting or not, it kind of sounds like it is, but it might sound a little bit weird, but um, I kind of talk to myself in a sense, like mostly like in here, um, from kind of like a parental perspective of like, talking to the kid who's like kind of having issues with following the rules, getting to places on time, keeping a schedule, being mature, that sort of thing. And as a result, I was able to get to the later class on time, which prevented me from getting any further trouble, basically. So um, it's something that like I tried out, and I think it's almost like I gotta take that perspective to a certain extent, be the parent to myself, and um, kind of like in a sense, like I guess because you can see I kind of scolded myself in a sense, and that seemed to have like the effect of not only forcing me to get my work done, but also getting to class on time, which um, is something that's it's integral to me actually getting ahead in life. I can't be messing around with that kind of stuff. So that's a little interesting experience I had. It's almost like I was separating out from myself and taking the role of like this separate person as a parent who's telling me like you got to get to class on time, you got to do this, why do you do this, why do that, da 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 da, this needs to change, or else, and it's like I responded to that by um, not only like owning up to my mistake because I procrastinated on some work and then it took me longer than I thought it was going to take me, which is why I ended up late, and I just straight up admitted that to the peer advisor and was like, this is what happened. It's, my fault, my mistake. I procrastinated. I underestimated the amount of work and that sort of thing. And, um, I think partially because she's probably had experience with it before because she's a peer advisor. And the reason you end up on this stuff is because you have bad habits. Not that you're stupid, but you have bad habits. That's what's gotten you to this point. Um, of course, I'm not going to go and say, well, last semester I PMO'd all these times, and that's why I'm not going to admit that sort of thing. That's like a little bit out there, a little bit extreme, and that's something that I need to just I need to deal with on my own without pulling in all these other folks. I mean, people who watch my videos and people who comment and support me. Like I appreciate that. You guys aren't required to do that. You're doing that because you actually care. So it really helps. But yeah, I admitted to my mistake. I didn't try to dodge it like a kid would, A kid might try to blame somebody else or and that's not to say that there are things in my life that haven't been if you trace them back rooted in something that somebody else said to me or did to me, but you can't necessarily control those things in life. You gotta learn how to control yourself and how you're gonna react to one thing or another happening because it's like we're it's like we're living in this sort of like I don't know this we live in this universe where when it comes to other people, they're other sentient creatures and they make their decisions, they do what they do, and you really can't control that necessarily. You can plan for it and you can learn how to react properly, but you really can't control it. So, anyways, I did own up to that to her, and I think that may have helped a bit because it wasn't like I was trying to dodge responsibility or treat it like it was some joke. Um, because it's like maybe something as simple as being late for a meeting like that, or maybe like missing some assignment that I consider quote unquote busy work, but it's that whole overall mentality, that whole overall problem, that issue um, of of being an adult versus being a child, you know. So it's something that I have to fix this semester, and then I hopefully, moving on to next semester, somewhere along there I get a job and I'm able to make the money to pay for school. So I'll find some other source of thing, but source of income. But reality is, as far as this thing is concerned, that's like one of the main issues, shifting my mentality. And another thing I want to talk about. It's kind of a bit of a rambling video, but I didn't really plan it out, and camera's kind of low on power. I really hope it doesn't shut down in the middle of recording because I've been struggling to get this done. It's gotten to the point where like I just don't PMO. I just don't fap. I just don't look at porn. I don't look at P subs, and it's not like porn subs. It's not an issue, but I got one of those like those automated messages or emails from Nofap.com because I have an account there, and I haven't really gone back there to begin with, but it was like, oh, it was back on February 14th or around that time, Valentine's Day. It was like, did porn ruin your Valentine's Day? And I was like, no, because I haven't been watching that, and I haven't been fapping, and it was kind of like a sort of shift in my mentality, and it's kind of odd and ironic and funny or something like that at the same time, but um, as I've moved into dealing with these underlying issues, I found that it's become less and less a problem, less and less an issue, and any sort of thinking that I might have, rationalizations to go back and look, go back and fap, that they've kind of melted away because it's like, to apply the IFS model, it's kind of like me, how should I put it? Like the urges to PMO, the anxiety, the depression, the stress, and that sort of stuff. It's like the little kid inside of you calling for attention, crying for attention, and it can be multiple kids, so to speak. That's why I talk about multiple XL personalities, or not even personalities. I'm not talking schizophrenia. I'm talking like segments of your mind, that are associated with different memories and that sort of thing. Um, but those parts of your mind associated with those memories crying for attention, and you realize that they're there when you go into the holding pattern, as Albertrain used that term, and you have that sort of same set of feelings. And once you actually start to address those parts of your psyche, and it really get to the root of why these quote unquote fires are breaking out, so to speak, in your mental emotional state. These exiles, the child, they get their needs met, and so therefore they stop causing those issues, or causing those problems, or just stop rising to the surface or existing to begin with, and the firefighters stop needing to go to work to put out the fires because there are no fires, or the fires have died down significantly, so to speak, and that's part of, I think, using the manager aspect of my psyche, the more parental, adult-like, and bringing about those sort of results that I resolved issues with the exiles, and I, in a sense, put the firefighters out of work, So that's something like an experience I've had overall, and it's kind of like one of those things. When I saw that email, it's kind of like, no, I don't really have those issues anymore. I've realized why I was doing this for so long, and I've started to not do that, to the point that it's just not part of my life. So, other than that, what else do I want to talk about? Not quite sure, but it is day 84, no fap, day 25, no porn or porn subs, and it's getting to the point where like I'm not really feeling the need to count days per se. Like I just kind of look back at my old video and say, oh, it's been so many days since then. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get to day 90, and I say when because the likelihood of me getting from day 84, to like about a week from now is it's pretty significant. I mean, especially since I have all this momentum. And it's different than saying at day one that I'm gonna get to day 90. Because there's a whole 3 month period that you gotta get through, whereas now it's just a week, or actually less than a week. Um, but I will continue to do like videos on various topics, probably more related to deeper issues, because like once you clear the PMO layer out of the way, or get that out of the way, and you actually see the underlying problems, um, it becomes a far deeper thing, and it becomes less and less about, oh, I gotta do this so I don't fap, or I gotta do this so I don't look at porn, or whatever. It becomes like, I gotta do this so I can have these issues resolved, and my life can actually be brought together. So um, I think the final thing I want to talk about was some sort of feelings I had over the weekend, which I think is probably one of the main reasons why I procrastinated. And I'm just trying to deal with that underlying issue of procrastination because, um, so let's see, I talked about the success I had yesterday in a sense, success and a bit of failure, how I dealt with that differently because it is a repeat. So I'm just doing a little recap out loud. um, Talked about the email from Nofap and my sort of change in mental state, my reaction and my feelings about that. Um, so basically over the weekend, one of the things that I did, which I probably shouldn't have done, was I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos on NASA and space travel and astronauts and that kind of thing. And that's been like my biggest dream in life. My biggest dream in life has been to go to outer space, be an astronaut with an engineering degree and all that sort of stuff, and do all those great things. But I've had all these underlying issues that prevented me from succeeding in areas like academia, my work, and so on, and romantic life, that sort of deal, such that I've been blocked from getting to where I would need to be at 30 to be able to go and do that. And it's like all these underlying feelings of just not only inadequacy but just dissatisfaction with my life. Like it's like I know I shouldn't go and watch something like that. That's gonna get me all like fired up in a sense, because it's like you have to do all this oh sorry you have to do all this underlying work in order to get to that point. It's like you have to go study this sort of stuff. X-ray diffraction. You have to study thermodynamics. You have to get through metallurgy and industrial chemical calculations and transport phenomena and all these like things you got to get through in order to be able to even qualify for that. And yet here I am, and it's like I'm impatient. I'm feeling dissatisfied, but because I haven't dealt with those underlying issues, or I hadn't for years, I am finally doing that. I wasn't able to get through those things. Like last semester, I would relapse, and then it would be like, it would be a week before the exam, and my mind would just be like, you know, 1,000 different places. I wouldn't be able to focus. I'd get stressed out, anxiety. I wouldn't be able to walk into the test hall and take the exam and remember what I was supposed to remember, and I would end up failing it. And I wasn't dealing with the underlying issues that were causing me to PMO to begin with, which wasn't leading to all those negative effects, which wasn't leading to negative results on examinations and homework and all that stuff. And as much as I love outer space movies and anything to do with astronauts or space travel, space exploration, science fiction, and I still stick to that because it's kind of like my native literary culture and my native like pop culture, in a sense. I was a big Star Wars fan and all that, but um, it's kind of like I gotta avoid that to a certain extent. Just focus on my day-to-day work, and because it's like I know where I want to go, I know what I want to do, and those things are fun to watch. Those videos, those films. They're not sexually related or any of that kind of stuff, and it's all related to my dreams. But I gotta do the work, and one of the main sets of work I have to do is all dealing with all these underlying issues, and working through them day by day, is helping. taking the sort of IFS approach to things. So I hope this video has made sense. Um, yeah, but one final remark I'm going to make is that, you see, for me, I found that PMO has been about underlying issues, stuff that had absolutely nothing to do with, well, maybe not nothing to do, but it didn't necessarily have to do with the things I typically hear in Nofap videos, where the guys are trying to become like more attractive to the opposite sex, and they're trying to, like, they're social anxiety, and they're trying to like find ways to get girls, and it's all about that sort of thing. That's an early 20s sort of mentality, I find. Um, but if you get to your 30s or 40s and you're still doing this stuff, especially if in a lot of ways your life is kind of together, there are obviously bigger problems to deal with. And for me, that's kind of like the difference between my PMO, or my Nofap journey, and a lot of other people's Nofap journeys, is that, if I'm doing this at 30, there are other reasons why I'm doing that. It's not that I'm just bored or anxious, or I'm horny or whatever. Um, so I say that, like, if you really want to get this far, even further in NoFap, you really got to ask yourself what those underlying reasons, because it's not that you're just horny or anxious or depressed. It's other things that are causing you to feel like that. And whether it's that you've been rejected by so many girls that you feel like crap about yourself, and you think this is the only way you're going to get that feeling, is to rub one out to a bunch of like porn videos, or it's that you've been emotionally neglected or emotionally abused. It's going to be different for different people. Your mileage may vary, but I feel that in order for you to be really effective in this, you're going to take that approach that is something deeper, and all the rationalizations are rooted in a part of you trying to deal with some sort of trauma or pain, or anxiety or so that happened at some point in time or another. And it could be really recent. It could be years and years ago. But that's my final point: is that NoFap is deeper than just not beating off or not watching porn or porn subs. It's about really facing yourself, and gaining that mental clarity, and causing those changes to occur in your life that are being prevented because you're PMOing all the time in order to not have to face uncomfortable emotions, uncomfortable feelings, and not so you don't have to do the work to resolve the crises you PMO, and you're gonna have to resolve those crises, those crisis moments in your life. So, anywho, I'm gonna finish right now. I mean, I know I've really rambled in this video. Tried to do some recaps along the way to kind of keep myself on track, and make sense of it. But anyways, I'm gonna go take a shower and then try to like get on with the day, because I gotta get a few hours of study hall in, and gotta get a couple assignments done, because, as again, big issue, procrastination. I'm late on a couple things. And I'm gonna try to get some exercise in earlier today than I did last night, because yeah, I went in I went at like 10:30 to the gym and did a bunch of cardio, and then came back, and it's kind of like my mind was all fired up, and I wasn't able to get to sleep earlier. So as early as I wanted to. So anywho, thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing. Other than the fact that I talk about myself and my own issues, I hope that some of the advice I try to give, or some of the information I try to give, is helpful to you folks on your NoFap journeys. So thanks for taking the time of your day to watch my videos, and if you like my content, you can go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, or whatever. Thanks, and bye.